As we all understand, here in the city of Little Rock and Central Arkansas, and of course the state of Arkansas, we've all experienced a devastating tornado, which has created a state of emergency for the city of Little Rock, Central Arkansas, and the entire state. It grieves the heart to see many of our residents who are now been displaced across the city as a result of these tornadoes. We want to assure the public that your first responders are going above and beyond to ensure public safety, health, and welfare. I couldn't be more proud of the work that they're doing and will continue to do throughout the night, the weekend, and the coming days. What we want to share with you today is that I've been in constant contact with Governor Huckabee Sanders. We've requested the state of emergency. She has dutifully accepted that and is already under coordination with all of the state parties as well as federal partners to ensure that we have what we need when we need it, to ensure that we are responding to our residents as quickly as possible. Today, you'll hear from a number of different individuals, particularly from the response mission from our Chief of Little Rock Fire Department, Delphon Hubbard, as well as the Little Rock Police Department Acting Chief of Police during this period of time, Andre Dyer. We have our Major Casey from the Arkansas State Police, and we'll continue to share more information throughout this time. But again, we want to send the message to the residents that we are here for you. We understand what's going on. We're rapidly working towards all health and safety efforts at this very moment. So please know that we got your back, that we're here for you. We also, most importantly, are praying for all those that have been impacted by this tornado. We know that God will prevail as always. Governor Sanders.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We are so grateful for your partnership in this very difficult time for our city. As each of you know, today has been a very hard day for the state of Arkansas. But the goodness of this is that Arkansas and Arkansans are tough and we are resilient. And no matter what comes our way, we will get back up the next day and keep moving. We will help our neighbors. We will ensure that every Arkansan who needs assistance has it. Our message and our mission is really simple. The people come first and the paperwork will come second. We have been working closely with Mayor Scott as well as state and local officials around the state of Arkansas who have been impacted. Everyone from our sheriffs to our state police, National Guard. As most of you know, we activated Arkansas's National Guard, and we have approximately 100 guardsmen that are on the ground offering assistance, not just here in central Arkansas, but other areas of the state that have also been impacted, like Wynne, Arkansas, where we are pulling all of our resources together. Arkansas State Police, as well as law enforcement here in Little Rock, our fire department have done a heroic effort and have been working diligently from the moment that we knew that storms were headed our way to assist the people of our state. I can't thank you enough for just the enormous amount of time and effort that each of you have put into and will be working on over the course of the next several days. We are very thankful, not just for your work today in this moment, but frankly the service that you bring to our state every single day. And we are never more grateful for our law enforcement and for our National Guard than we are in moments like this. And so we thank you on behalf of the entire state for the work that you're doing. We stand ready to help. If people need assistance, we ask if it's an emergency that you call 911. If it is not an emergency situation, but you need assistance, we encourage you to reach out to your local county emergency management officials. You can find those resources online. Arkansas and the state government stand ready to offer whatever assistance is needed. We've offered that to the mayor here as well as other cities across the state. I also spoke with the FEMA director, Chriswell, earlier this evening and have already requested federal assistance, and they are working quickly to make sure that any resources that we need on the ground here will be provided, as well as Arkansas already declaring a state of emergency, providing resources for those towns that have been impacted. Thank you again, Mayor Scott, for your partnership in this process and your leadership, as well as all of those in our law enforcement community that are stepping up today and helping our citizens get through this. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Colonel Aaron from State Police to give a few updates and comments.
Currently, we have troopers deployed in the Little Rock, North Little Rock metro area, assisting Little Rock, North Little Rock Police Department, Jacksonville Police Department, Cabot Police Department. And also we've got our emergency response troopers responding across county, concentrated in the area of Wynn that right now appears to be the hardest hit. And this is going to be a continued operation. We're assisting other agencies as these requests come in. Right now our efforts are focused in this Little Rock, North Little Rock metro area and Cross County.
Thank you. We'll now have the response mission from Chief Delphon Hubbard, and then following him, Chief Andre Dyer.
Good evening. Little Rock Fire Department, upon this initial impact of this storm, this tornado, we've responded to overturned vehicles, heavy damage to residential and businesses in that community, along with downed trees, down power lines, ruptured gas lines. They faced a lot of various mitigating emergencies there. One of our fire stations is in that area on North Shackelford. Fire Station number 9 was heavily damaged. So that limited their ability to respond to those calls for emergency. However, they did serve as a shelter in place for many members of the community who came to the fire station seeking shelter from the storm. We have been in great partnership with MIMS as we triaged, treated, and transported several of the individuals that was in that area that needed medical attention. We also assisted Public Works in their means of clearing the trees from the streetways, the down power lines, the down power poles in those particular areas to assist with our emergency vehicles being able to get in and out of those areas. And even with our fire station being down that's in that particular area, we had several of our other neighboring communities such as Conway, Maumelle, Bryant. They came in to assist us. They're still here in the city, lending a helping hand wherever we may need that particular assistance. And also we partnered with our police department going door to door, ensuring we have accountability of all those residents that lived in that community so that there would be a means of either rescuing those individuals or just getting them out of that particular hazardous environment. And so we were pretty successful at that. That particular number is not available at this time as to how many people we were able to move from that area, but that's a continuous ongoing assessment of the fire department.
Chief Dyer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Assistant Chief Andre Dyer. This is a very horrific event that occurred here in our city today, but you can be rest assured that the members of this city's government, the fire department, mayor's office, the police department is doing all that we can to make sure that you do not become victimized twice by the actions of anyone that wants to come into the area, the affected areas, and try to commit any type of crimes. We are here in full force, along with state police, a few other entities. I want to say thank you to all of the surrounding departments that wanted to come in and help us, that offer their assistance. We could not have done what we've done thus far without you, but we need for everyone to understand there were a lot of areas hit today in this city. There's going to be some displaced individuals. We will do all that we can to secure those areas to make sure that there's no looting that takes place. We will enforce the law to the highest extent for those that believe they can come into the area and take advantage of this horrific event. We will not allow it to happen. We will be very strict on who we allow into those areas. We understand that you're anxious and you want to get back to your homes, but you have to allow the process to take place. There is nothing that anyone can do in the evening hours without all the power lines that are down and the electricity being out. So do us a favor and stay out of the area unless it is absolutely necessary. Be patient with us, because we will do our jobs to the fullest effect of the law, and we will not allow anyone into those areas until we deem it safe for you to be able to go into those areas. So with that said, we want to thank everyone who came in to assist. We needed each and every hand that came in to help us out, and we will always be here for you just as you were here for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Dyer. Again, we are here for the public. We're responding as quickly as possible to each and every area as we've already shared today, and we are in deep prayer for all those that have been impacted. As you know by now, we're asking for individuals who have been displaced to go to Hall High School, and we're working with you there once you get there. We'll give more updates as we continue to reassess the situation. We'll have another update sometime mid-morning tomorrow. We'll let you know the time and the location. At that point in time, we'll start beginning assessing even more damage that we may not be aware of tonight. So we want to make certain that you have all of that information available. Again, I ask the residents of Little Rock not only to be in prayer for Little Rock, but to be in prayer for this entire state. We'll now take questions.
Do you all have, Governor, for you and also for the city, do you have a breakdown of how many fatalities there are, injuries, people displaced?
No, right now, I can confirm that we have 2 fatalities in Wynne, Arkansas. But as you know, this is an ongoing situation, still a lot of search and rescue efforts going on across the state. But right now, we can confirm, based off of information from local law enforcement on the ground, that we have 2 fatalities in Wynne, Arkansas.
Do you expect that number to go up?
Certainly possible. We're hopeful that it doesn't, but I think given the nature and the volatility of the situation, we're certainly preparing that it could.
In terms of hospitalizations, do you have a breakdown of that?
I've spoken to the leadership of hospitals both here in Central Arkansas and around the state. Right now we have a number of injuries, but no individual hospital has been overwhelmed or is at a capacity that they are unable to manage. Like I said, this is an ongoing situation. We expect those numbers to increase as search and rescue continues. But right now, we feel like our healthcare professionals and teams on the ground, both here in Central Arkansas and around the state, are capable of managing what is coming in. We've also deployed resources for mobile health units, particularly in the Wynne area, and working closely with a number of partners to make sure that any healthcare needs that they have are being addressed.
Do y'all feel like y'all were prepared for this level of severe weather?
Yes, I can rest assured that the city of Little Rock, and we know for certain that the state of Arkansas, has been very prepared for this event, well trained on issues like this, and so couldn't be more proud than first responders at this time.
You know, I echo the mayor's praise for our first responders. They have done an absolutely amazing job as other people are sheltering in place. They're running into the danger, and we could not be more grateful for their willingness to step up. But anytime that you have a tragedy like this, I don't think you can emotionally be prepared, but certainly in terms of coordination with our state and local officials, partners across the state, that has been a seamless process, and we expect that to continue over the course of the coming days.
Can you speak about the response of school districts, making the decision to let students out early, in preparation for this?
Cannot speak in totality on the response of the school district, but we know Superintendent Wright is fully prepared in situations like this, and so we have been in constant communication. Clearly, as you know, that we have all of our displaced individuals and residents being located at Hall High. We're also utilizing another location for our LRPD and other first responders. Can't share at that point in time because we want to keep that to ensure that we maintain continuity of the operations, but it is the Little Rock School District facility.
Do you have an idea of what were some of the hardest hit areas in Little Rock?
I'll have to ask Chief Dyer to kind of speak through that.
Some of the areas that was some of the areas that were most affected were mainly in West Little Rock. It covered about 2,100 citizens that could have been affected, so it was a pretty large stretch of area that the tornado actually hit. Right now, we're still assessing that damage, and we can't just give you a pinpointed area that was hit the hardest, but we do know that there were several areas that were affected pretty badly.
Next question.
Mayor, so just to confirm with you, so there are no fatalities in Little Rock that you're aware of, and I guess is that surprising given how big of an area, busy an area
It is
that was?
truly, by the grace of God, that we have not experienced any fatalities to date. We still are assessing the damage. In talking with Greg Thompson, who is over MIMS, we know it's somewhere close to 30 individuals have been transported to our local hospitals. But still, as we're sharing, we're still assessing damage, and I want to make certain before we give any definitive numbers regarding that. But at this point in time, again, by the grace of God, there's no fatalities.
Do we know if any first responders have been injured, particularly at that fire station that was hit by the storm?
Chief of it.
Sure. We were very fortunate. None of our fire personnel were injured during that particular time. And even in the midst of, once the storm passed, they were part of the group that rendered aid to those members of that community.
Couple more questions?
Governor, how long do you think until the state receives federal assistance, and what resources will that open up to Arkansas?
The FEMA director expressly committed that they're moving as quickly as they can. They expect those resources to be available immediately. But we've already opened up a number of significant resources from a state level and feel confident that we can address whatever needs that the people of Arkansas have with the resources we have available at this moment. We've allocated $250,000 currently with significant room to grow, and we'll address whatever needs people have.
One last question.
Have there been any provisions made to get people who don't have transportation after the storm to that shelter location?
Yes, we've, up until this point, I believe, and may have, still working on a timeline, but we do know that Rock Region Metro has been going to different staging areas between the Little Rock Police Department and Fire Department and are being transported to Hall High. And so that's what we know at this time.
From a statewide perspective, we're working closely with local law enforcement as well as National Guard and the sheriff's office and county judges to make sure that individuals that need temporary housing and transportation are having those needs addressed as well.
And finally, thank you, everyone. And again, please remain in prayer for Little Rock and the entire state of Arkansas. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll let you guys know when the next update is. It'll be tomorrow morning. We'll probably have a different venue than this.